You want me to answer it? Hi, do you want to ask me to answer this?
Oh, I want to ask you.
First of all, I'll introduce myself. My name is Bimanto Swastoyo. Everyone calls me Bim.
Mm,
I'm actually because Toraja Melo is a company, and then it has also a non-profit
mm.
foundation, which I
The
deal with.
NGO, yes,
I'm an NGO, yes, a non-profit
yes.
NGO, and I deal with sustainable development actually in cultural project. Uh, I we mostly deal with because of the origin of the foundation. We mostly deal with rural women, and we try to empower them and make improve their welfare, but only but through what we call the. Do you know what a backstrap loom is? A
Best
weaving.
time,
When you make
best
a
time.
piece of cloth, backstrap loom. It's a tension loom, so
Best time room.
normally you have a like a machine where you sit and you wave, but backstrap loom is you sit on the floor and you sort of strung the yarn and wave the yarn. We only deal with that type of waving. So actually, the most the most appropriate example is of the history how our company and foundation started. Our founder is Dini Yusuf. Unfortunately, she's busy with another organization she's in, so she sort of delegated to me. Dini Yusuf is a woman from Java. Uh, do you know where Java is the main island in Indonesia? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
she was brought up in an environment in a region where everything breeds batik. Batik. They're a batik producing area anyway. So she's from Java, but later she married somebody from Toraja. Toraja, where our name comes from,
Toraja.
is a region. It's a region in another island, which we call.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
So Dini was actually a commissary, a national commissioner for the National Commission for the Protection of Women and Children. And when her terms ended, she followed the husband back to Toraja, to the village. And in the village, she saw that there was a lot of children taken care by elderly people, not the mother. It was obviously
Oh,
not the mothers, and a lot of children like that. So she asked around and found out that most women in that village, because there was no employment available, they went to work abroad as maid, as menial jobs, including in Taiwan actually. And
oh.
so they kept the
Yes, I
children.
got it. Mm,
Yeah, they kept the children at home,
mm.
and either it's the husband or the grandmother, the grandparents who would take care of the children. So she asked herself, why should they be separated as a family? Why can't they just work in their region so that they can be with their family? And she looked, and there was actually no job available. It was true, but there was one thing that she noticed is that Toraja is rich in weaving. They have a lot of traditional weaving, but it was dying out. First, because all women went abroad, most women went abroad, and then the younger generation wasn't interested in weaving because there was no market for it. Basically, it's dying out because nobody's buying it. It was too expensive compared to like product from China or from industrial factories. So she thought she could revive the economy, allowing women to have an income by finding a market for the weaving. So she began to order people to weave, and then buy the product and then sell it to friends and her network.
Oh.
And it started like that. Of course, she was lucky because her husband comes from a family, very noble family in Toraja, so they had a lot of connection. And so they managed to get the local government to issue regulations that supported her drive, meaning that, for example, they had a regulation that required civil servants in Toraja to wear local wave 2 days in a week. So that was a new market because people needed that to make a shirt or a skirt. So people started to wave again. And waving nowadays, she started in 2008. And maybe a decade later, Toraja was already, you could let them loose. I mean, waving was already an important source of revenue for the women there. And a lot of people started waving again, and she basically revived the waving in Toraja. So that's a cultural preservation that also helped on the other side, the welfare of the women, because women could now find a job that brings money home and allows them to work from home, or with their family, taking care of their family. So that's I think a very good example of what you are asking, project that combines cultural preservation with women economic empowerment.
Yes, it's an incredible example.
Sorry?
Oh, it's an incredible example.
Yeah. It's a very good example. But since because she started working in Toraja, her outfit was called Toraja Melo, which basically mean beautiful Toraja. Wow. But nowadays we've expanded our operation. We work with like 500 communities, 500 weaving communities across Indonesia. Not everyone at the same time. It's based on project. It's total of between 1,200, 1,500 weavers, in total. In a lot of areas in Indonesia, because Indonesia is a very large country and several islands. We work, for example, we don't work in Java because everybody's working in Java anyway. Bali, Lombok, Sumatra, Kalimantan, all the main islands we work in. Usually we have partner communities. The way we work is also as we are partner communities. We are partner of the communities. We're not teachers. We're not superior to them, but we're equal. Because I myself, I learn a lot from the communities themselves. That's basically what we're doing in other regions as well. We use weaving as a focus to improve the livelihood of women in rural areas. So basically, we work in areas where there are communities that weave. Because we don't work with individual, we work with communities. So there has to be a group of women who weave in the area, and then we work with them. Basically, it's one of the principles we do. That's it.
Oh, wow, it's very cool. I know that Indonesia is pretty large, but I really I think your group is very great, very great, and strong, can connect to much communities. I think yes, I think it's very cool. And we next question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, I think if there's some problem is then I will skip.
Could you share how traditional testimonial experience?
Maybe
Yes.
could you share some story?
Yeah, it's another story. It was like in a lot of places, you know what traditional textile are. It takes a lot of work to do, a lot of time, takes patience, takes skills. And what happens is when you do a large piece of cloth, it's very expensive because the time they spend, everything they spend, especially when it's hand spun cotton, you know, not factory cotton, but hand spun cotton and the natural dyes. That's a lot of process involved. One piece could take like between 3 weeks to 3 months, sometimes a year, depending on what type of clothes you're doing. So basically, it becomes very expensive, and people, unless they really, really need the piece for some rituals or for some religious ceremony, they very often are not going to buy traditional weaving because of the price, you know. But what we help communities is to come with innovation with new products, meaning that with the same size of weaving, for example, you have a blanket, you weave a blanket, you sell the blanket for, in Indonesian, that would be in millions, in million rupiah, I think 3 million, 2 million. And for people, that's expensive. But if you cut the blanket and use pieces of cloth to make t-shirts, you know, stick it on t-shirt or make bags or make hobbies or make whatever, you combine it with other materials, you can actually sell them cheaper, but at the end of the day have the same amount of money, if not more, than what you get for a whole piece of we're not playing with the motif. Motif is always theirs. We're not advising them to change motifs. Of course, if they can create new motif, it's fine. But we in Toraja Milo, we don't meddle with that. The motif is theirs. The story is theirs. So we're not changing that. What we're changing is the form. Sometimes there are regions in Indonesia where the weaving is like very bright colors, you know, because it's rural area, it's tradition, bright colors. It sells in the region, but if you want to sell it in urban cities like Jakarta, for example, people don't like bright colors. They like subdued colors, like more calmer tone. So what we do is teach them to color combination. We're not changing the motif. We're not changing the color, the primary color, but we teach them how to combine it with what is the proper combination if you want to sell outside of your market. So those are the changes that we usually bring into our communities so that they can sell more. They have a wider market, not only market in their local region, but they can sell. Nowadays, you can sell online pretty easy. And that's also part of what we are teaching them. We're teaching them how to, for example, take photograph of their products, interesting photograph, how to make stories to accompany the product. Because when you sell a product with a story, you have an added value. People would be more interested if they know what they are buying actually. So we teach them to look for stories for whatever they can tell about what they're producing. For example, who is usually wearing that? How is it worn? What material is it? What type of dyes they're using? Things like that. Are they used for religion, ritual, or any story they can do will accompany their product and help sell the product online, basically. So we're not changing their culture. We're not changing the motif. We're not changing what we're changing is the color, maybe. What we change is how some of the traditional weavings are not, exactly symmetrical. Sometimes you have large bands on one side and smaller band on the other side. We equalize that to be more acceptable to modern market. But that's the only change that we make. So we're not dealing with cultural meaning. Actually, we're encouraging them to find their cultural meaning for the product they're doing. For example, what are the motifs? What does the motif symbolizes? Who can wear them? Because sometimes there's some motifs that commoners can wear, but nobility can wear, and things like that. Is it clear?
Yes, it's pretty clear.
Ask me, just interrupt me and ask me whenever you have a question when it's not clear.
Yes, I think you fully answered my question. Because we made this game, we also want to connect local store or local community to translate their story to combine with our game. And we I just want to say your example is pretty great, and I think we can learn. Could you hear my voice?
Yeah.
So could you hear my voice?
Yeah, but it's sometimes
okay.
What is it? Cut off, a bit cut off.
I don't know. In my home, because I connect my home's Wi-Fi, so I think it is good.
There's no problem. No problem.
No
In
problem.
general, I can catch what you're saying. No problem.
Okay, thank you. Okay,